Thank you guys so much. Thank you. I so appreciate you guys being here. It has been a rough couple years. I got bangs at one point. Shit got dark. I didn't even want bangs. I just needed people to check on me. And it works, by the way. You post a selfie in bangs, everybody's like, fire emoji, you go, girl. Then they text you like, you okay? Here's what I did. I got bangs. And then 2 days later, I did mushrooms for the first time. And as soon as I did those mushrooms, I was like, I should have done these first. Probably wouldn't have gotten these bangs if I forgave myself, huh? But you know what? Having bangs feels exactly like being on mushrooms. The whole time you're just looking at your friends like, do I look weird? You guys would tell me if I looked weird, right? Is it bad different? Is it not good? You know what? I changed my mind. I don't want to do it. It's too late? It's already happening? Okay, no, I can be this person. I got back into therapy. Anybody in therapy? Mostly women, that's the problem. It's very hard to stay in therapy. My old therapist told me that when I get close to people, I have a tendency to self-sabotage, and I thought that was bullshit, so I ghosted her. And then I finally went back because I finally dated enough people who all gave me the exact same feedback about my shitty personality. You know that romantic quota you hit where you're like, uh-oh, might be me. Oh, the reviews are in and they are unanimous. That's a bummer. So after a really bad breakup a few years ago, I finally took a long, hard look at myself and said, okay, Taylor, 5 out of 5 dudes all think that in fights, you behave like a raccoon trapped in a trash bag. So maybe it's time to get some Klonopin or a rabies shot. I am fully medicated now. Anybody else? Antidepressants? Medication? Yeah. Nice. What are we on? Shout it out. Zoloft, Lexapro. Ooh. Man, look at us. Gang's all here. Oh my God. I'm also on something. I would never say what. That's very personal. But no, I'm kidding. I'm on a few things. I am on Klonopin as needed for panic attacks. I'm so glad I have Klonopin now, because before I had medication for it, I would have panic attacks right when I had to be somewhere, which is the worst time to get them, because then you just have to pinch the panic attack off like a shit you don't have time to take. You know what I mean? When you're like, okay, I got 60% of that out of my system. I'm not done, but I gotta go to work. I will get to the other 40 later, or I'll finish in the big stall at lunch if no one's in there. I got put on something else for sleep because I have night terrors. There's no fun, casual way to say that. Wake up screaming. And these sleeping time pills I got are great. They don't stop the nightmares, but they do hold you down while they're happening. Which sounds bad, but before I'd wake up in the middle so afraid, and now I stay asleep until the nightmare's natural conclusion, which provides you with some closure. You're like, oh, he stabs me at the end. Okay, plot twist, M. Nightmare Shyamalan. I thought I was on an antidepressant. It turns out I'm not. It turns out I'm actually on a mood stabilizer that they use as an antidepressant. Fun fact about prescription drugs. Everything they prescribe, they actually use for like 4 different things. So you don't really know what your deal is until you find a combo that works and then Google all your pills by yourself. So after years of trial and error, I finally found a combination of things that worked for me. And 6 months ago, I decided to Google it, because what the hell? And it turns out that everything I'm taking is primarily used for bipolar disorder. So I went back to my psychiatrist and I was like, hey, do we think? And she was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, is this how you fucking tell people? And she's like, no, of course not. We didn't know. I'm glad we figured it out. And I was like, we? I said, you really didn't know that I was bipolar? And she goes, no, of course not. We thought we were treating anxiety and depression. And I said, okay, because this kind of feels like a putting your dog's medication in cheese situation. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this diagnosis. And she goes, well, if it makes you feel better, you don't have to say I am bipolar. You can say I have bipolar, which feels a lot like someone going, I said you were being a bitch. I'm so glad I know that I'm bipolar now. I mean, I have the right meds. I got a mood ring. I'm handling it. But when I first found out, it was a very tough pill to swallow, and I've swallowed a lot of pills. Because when you first find out something like that, you're like, oh man, am I gonna tell anybody? Should I tell anybody? And if I do tell people, am I hot and or talented enough to be an inspiration? Like, if I have a thing and someone else has that thing and they find out I have it too, are they gonna feel good or bad with that information? Because when I got diagnosed, they started listing names. They were like, you know who else is bipolar? Selena Gomez. And I was like, that does make me feel better. She is very pretty. Okay, I'll be bipolar.